Go.
Introspection initiates integrity. Looking honestly at and within oneself brings forth the start and realization for self of always doing what is right and best for all simply because it is the right thing to do. I refer to this as integrity inspired by introspection. Alright, what we got here? Okay, so Einstein had theory of relativity. I pretty much got that a while back. And I added to it the theory of relativity and subjectivity. So, theory of relativity and subjectivity. Relativity. Everything that occurs in the universe has a residual and or equaling mirror or opposite effect across the universe or at minimum within the cosmos. That is, everything is relative to everything else. One object in space can only be identified and or located by relating its position to something else. Likewise, each thing or person's activities and actions affect other objects and people in the universe and cosmos. Now, subjectivity, my definition is everything and every person in the universe has the potential and likelihood of being subjected to or affected by another or other objects and or people.
Let's go.
Did you have to start it over or you pause? Okay. With these awarenesses, it is obvious that anything can potentially happen to anything or any person, regardless of that person's intent, purpose, and or actions or activities. This is not to say that one's environment, nor circumstances, nor situations is unmanageable. One can and does control most occurrences with regard to his or her own matter, energy, space, and time. However, much is beyond our control, as we are subject to be subjected to occurrences initiated by forces outside of ourselves. Therefore, one now knows the layman definition of this theory of relativity and subjectivity, and that is, anything and everything is possible for anything, everything, anyone, and everyone. Or put more simply, anything and everything is possible for everything and everyone.
Wow.
This poem, I have two titles up there. I have Why Faith, and then I have The Reason Why. Why does the human hate with his heart? That place where also caring starts. Why does the mind manipulate pain, experiencing for self, then others again? Why do our days run into nights, all the while craving our fights? Why are we hurting within and without? Why do we fear, then with fear we doubt? Why is the place called a home so alone? Why into prisons our children are thrown? Do we... Prison goes thrown. Why, for monetary gain, do we over and over repeat this again? I'll tell y'all why. The world's no longer safe. It's simply a matter of lacking faith. Faith in pure love, for it is a rare breed. Now in this time of craving to bleed, is all that we need. Now while couples drift apart, now while the end did long ago start, now when confusion is common as quail. Now, as we all drive Jesus' nails, why do we need it but push it away? Why, when it finds us, we don't let it stay? Why, in this time, with all that we face, is humanity ever so lacking in faith? The conundrum is solved by reversing the words. Faith is the answer. Now we've all heard. Alright. We got a chapter on affinity, reality, and communication.
Okay.
Affinity is a natural but culminated and not automatic like and or gravitation towards someone and or something. Sometimes reasoned by understanding, but usually not consciously, but rather subconscious attraction based on one or more physical sense being aroused and or pleasure sensed in the brain. Reality is the term I use to refer to the personal and honest knowing and understanding from one human being to and of another. It is built with trust and communication over time and birthed out of initial affinity. Effective communication is honest in its entirety, altruistic, and wrought with evidence of a passionate and compassionate love. It is a two-way verbal exchange with a desired and or planned and executed to success and or intended purpose. Effective communication is brutally honest while usually direct and to the point, while avoiding offensive, defensive lies, misguidances, misconceptions, and ill will or malice as the activating or continued driving nor initiating force. A relationship starts with a spark of affinity, and also reality are grown bipersonally through honest introspection and effective communication. Therefore, one cannot build reality nor affinity without communication, and likewise, there will be no communication without initiating affinity. Finally, reality acquiring and stockpiling is impossible without the other two components of the ARC or relationship triangle. All parts work in unison, concurrently, with and out of love for good through the force and stability of integrity. Here's a poem I wrote called No More Trauma Drama as I eat my chocolates. By the way, here's a free plug for Seller's Chocolate Covered Cherries. They're the best cherries in the world. And everyone should go out and buy 5 boxes. I do. Alright. No more trauma drama. As a child, I'd lie on my back and I'd stare at the clouds in the sky, wondering, does he care? Is he there, or does he even exist? Surely not, I just rot and abuse from tight fists. I'd sit all alone in the corner and cry, wondering why I hear no lullabies. Only those things that are mean in Mom's screams, as Father continued to break everything. I mean, what hope was there for me for a fair? chance at this life where nobody cares. Alone in my thoughts, I was wrought with I'm not. Yes, I too was fooled by the evil one's thoughts. Thinking the drinking was sinking my soul, when behold he unfolded awareness is molded. By him above, then revealed with grace and mercy plentiful in this desolate place. That was, so I was previously convinced, hex, but next I was convinced that some thoughts, actually many you see, were not my thoughts, but rather placed in me. That which is nothing and sought to destroy an innocent and impressionable boy. And those thoughts not mine, over time I realized, weren't mine, but were implanted by that despises. Everything that's anything, that's right, Satan, our soul's arch enemy. But God himself chose me long ago to be tossed on the same sea he walked on, you know. For without this storm, it could not be born in my heart the truth about Satan's horns, and thoughts and emotions and acts that aren't me. But finally, through God's mercy and grace, I'm free, able to weed out those things that aren't mine, sharing and caring, changing the times, enabling everyone else to be free, freely sharing this enlightenment that was gifted to me.